Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I just want to talk about a couple of things. Last night, I don't know if I'm uploading the video. Last night I was having just a really bad night. I was really frustrated because it seems like our situation as Black people in America is getting dire. The situation is getting bad. It is not getting better. And I know that I'm constantly giving you guys different information on what's going on, sharing different articles and videos that, I share a lot. Just hold on one second. Okay. There's a lot of background noise that I wanted to get rid of. So, yeah, I'm usually telling you guys a lot about the problem and showing you guys examples of the problem. And yesterday, I was really kind of trying to think about some solutions. When I was thinking about the problems last night, I got so overwhelmed. I was literally in tears and with frustration. And, when we're looking for solutions, even if they're discussed, with family, as I said before, I have a big family. I have 9 sisters, and 2 brothers. And so within our family, when you're discussing stuff, everybody has a different opinion. And that's just within the family. So I know, if we're looking at our community, the community of Black people, with millions and millions of Black people, and trying to get everyone on the same page, that's a huge task. And honestly, if I believed in an impossibility, I would say that this is definitely falls in that category of something that it's impossible. But I don't. The good thing is, we don't need everyone to be on the same page, so that's good. But we do need a large majority of Black people to be on the same page in order to save our lives. And literally right now, our lives are in jeopardy. And I understand the feelings and of wanting to just live your life and live it as it is, with the pressure of white supremacy, and just going to going to work and picking your kids up from school and just living your life. And that's what a lot of Black people are doing, just choosing to be positive. And that's what even in my family, people are just like, oh, I'm just choosing to be positive. That's great. It's great to want to be positive and to feel positive. I would love to be positive too. I really would. I would love to just, meditate and do yoga and lay in the sun and, go hiking and, hang out with my son and paint and color and just live life, But we need to find a balance, because we can't just say, I'm deciding to be positive and focus on the positive while our brothers and sisters are being killed. Because whether we choose to acknowledge it or do something about it, or be an active participant in ending white supremacist terrorism, it still exists. So even if we want to go in our houses and put on our blindfolds and put in earplugs and just be in ourselves, all of the ugly, all of the nasty, all of the oppression, all of the discrimination, the mass incarceration, the terrorist attacks by white supremacists, those are going to continue to exist regardless of whether you choose to acknowledge them or not. Okay? Me acknowledging the actions that are happening, you know, the government doing mass incarceration, or even, let's say, if I choose to stop being an activist and talking about what's going on, is that going to somehow minimize what's happening? Is it going to stop? Is it going to be less because I'm not giving it any attention? And the answer to that is no. The more we ignore what's happening, the more it's going to happen. Because it's like, let's say you have a dog, right? And the first time your dog bites you, you do nothing, you say nothing. You don't make any response. You don't say, ow, you don't, get angry. You just do nothing. That dog is guaranteed to bite you again. And then let's say the dog bites you a second time. And you just say, don't bite, but you don't do anything. You just say, don't bite. And while you're saying don't bite, the dog bites you again. And then you still do nothing. And let's say the dog doesn't bite you again that day or that time. He goes on with his life. He's going to come back and bite you again, guaranteed, because you're setting a precedent in this dog's head that it's okay to bite you. And that even if you say verbally, don't bite me, and it bites you again, nothing's going to happen. So you just taught this dog to bite you. You taught this dog by not reacting to its previous bites that it is okay to bite you. That's what you taught it. And that's what we're teaching white supremacists. I talked about yesterday the Rodney King beating. So back in maybe it was the early 90s. I think I was very young at that point, so I'm not exactly sure what year, but I know that it was either the really late 80s or the early 90s. And so we see this video and we see, cop brutality. And back then, people weren't recording stuff, obviously, not like today where we have our phones out every minute. But we saw that, that the action of those officers, and we saw how horrifying it was. And, everyone was horrified. The news, everyone, and there was riots. There were riots. There were Black people saying, this is not okay. There's, tearing up neighborhoods. They tore up the wrong neighborhoods, in my opinion, because you really need to take the problem to where the people are that are causing the problem. So, but there was a big backlash for that. And now it's happening so often, since the Michael Browns and the, I can't remember everyone's name, but I want to say, I can't remember, but all of those shootings, white people had no consequence. The police didn't have a consequence. They went to court and, it's thrown out. They get a 2-week paid vacation. That's what they got. And so the next cop is like, whoa, I can kill Black people and nothing's going to happen. So it happens again. Every time it happened, that was an opportunity for us to say no and set an example, a firm, quick example of what is going to happen if you continue to kill Black people. But we did the opposite. We showed them nothing's going to happen. A second time, we showed them it's okay to kill us. We don't need to say those words if our actions are showing them that it's okay to kill us. You don't need an excuse You just kill us and everything is fine. You have a vacation and you go on with your life. Okay, so that keeps happening over and over again. Now we're so in danger right now. Like, you guys don't even understand how endangered you are, because any police can just pull you over and kill you and say that they felt that their lives are in danger, and they know by history that Black people are not going to do anything about it, and B, the government is not going to do anything about it. So they know for a fact that they will get off scot-free. Why wouldn't they? We already know that the nature of the Caucasian brain is to be violent. They get a thrill out of killing. Okay? And I'm not just saying that. And people can say, oh, you're being racist. Look at history. If they're having big parties, okay, where they're celebrating the burning and killing of Black people, lynchings were a party, was a scheduled event where the lives were being prolonged of these people. If you really think because the time changed, that their genetic makeup somehow changed with it, you are delusional, because you just have to look at the facts. You don't have to believe anything that I'm telling you. But I'm sure you have Google. Look up Google, look up the lynchings, look at the happy grins on their faces. Okay? That is who they are. So when they go out and they kill you, they're more likely to kill you now because they're emboldened. They know, wait, these consequences are not going to be faced. We don't have to face consequences. We can kill these people. We get the thrill. We get that joyful feeling, and we get a 2-week paid vacation. They have more benefits, more reason to kill you than to not kill you. Okay, so we are living in a very dangerous time. Now, there's things that are my opinion, and there's things that are facts. And the fact is, they are killing us without consequence. That's a fact. Okay. The fact is, there's other stuff. Our environment is being destroyed. That is a fact. Our food is being poisoned. That is a fact. These are facts. These are not my opinions. I can want to stay as positive as I want to, and these facts will not change. Okay? I can say I choose to look at the positive stuff and the beauty of life. And I do. I love the sunshine. I love the trees. I love birds. I love nature. I love it all. I love it. It's positive. But life is not, none of that. None of my feelings are changing these things that are fact. They're not changing them. So I was wondering, okay, so why is this happening? Why are we having this huge disconnect with ourselves to the fact that where we can separate whether someone else gets killed, or and we can say, well, it's not me, so I'm just gonna stay positive and go on with my life and not start an uproar and not be angry because this other person just got killed, because it has nothing to do with me. Like, I can think that, but you're only thinking that, and you're only waiting until that time comes, whether these white supremacist devils decide to do martial law, which they've already said that they're leaning towards doing in Chicago, and it has already been said that they're already doing that in areas of Detroit. So these being facts and these being things that are going on, choosing to ignore it is not beneficial. It's not, because then you're just waiting. You're just, like, for me, I feel like if I'm not doing anything and I'm not saying anything about it, then I'm just sitting here and I'm waiting until, we start getting put in concentration camps, or they decide that to invoke martial law. They're already setting up certain scenarios, like the Fresno shooting. They're setting up these fake incidents so that they can justify randomly killing Black people. They're already doing it, but they need to do it on a larger scale. And so to do it on a larger scale, they need to put a certain narrative that Black people are dangerous and they're killing random white people, and in order for us to protect ourselves, we need to kill them. Even though we're not doing that, because in order to protect ourselves, we need to kill them, but we're not doing it. So, I forgot what my point was. Okay, so there are things that we could do. We could, we could try to separate ourselves from them, but that's not going to work. And the thing is, all you have to do is look at their history. Okay, they wrote this history. They wrote these facts about themselves and things that they've done, and they sugarcoated it and made it seem a lot less evil than it was. But if you want to predict the future, the best prediction of the future is the past and the present. So what's going on right now? We can look back down, from the 70s and the 60s and keep going back down to slavery and then before then. And we can see what they're capable of. Whether we want to look at, slavery or Pearl Harbor or the Holocaust, you see that this is what they are capable of. But on the other spectrum, we want to say, oh, these are conspiracy theories. They would never do this. They can't do this. This is against the law. Well, they control the law. They write the laws. So wouldn't they just change the law if they want to do it? Yes, because that's what they do. If they want to do something, like right now with these fake news stories that are coming out, and let me tell you something right now. Donald Trump, when he was running for presidency, already stated that he wanted to reinstate the stop and frisk. Okay, you need to realize that. You need to think about that. And now they have these fake news situations. So now it's going to be more important for them to stop and frisk. Okay, you need to look at what's happening and look at what happened. Okay, because they coincide. They really do. Things usually just go around in circles. There's not much change ever. There's not really too much change. It's just a big circle going around, coming around, going around, coming around. That's usually what happens. Whether it's in finances, whether it's in law or history, it kind of repeats itself. But we can definitely look at what they're capable of. And that's what we should make our judgments on. We should make our judgments on what have these people done in the past and what's stopping them from doing it now. Okay, because right now we have videos and we're seeing what they're doing and we're putting it out there. Well, they're just putting laws and legislation to say that it's illegal to record a police officer. So they're already trying to get that passed. And that's why I keep telling you guys, we can say things are illegal or against the Constitution, but it doesn't matter because these are the people that write the laws. Okay, they amend the Constitution. I swear on a daily basis, they're amending the Constitution. So if they can just change the Constitution, it does not protect you. If they can just change the laws, then you are not protected. Okay? You don't have the right to life, the right to liberty, the right to safety. That's all I'm asking for. I'm asking for the right to live my life and feel safe and not be discriminated against and not be killed because I'm black, you know, because my skin is brown and I have melanin. But I don't have that. Okay, so I just want to I wanted to say some things that I feel like could help unify Black people. And I know a lot of people, even me, I feel like, you know, what can I do as just one person? I'm just one person on this entire universe. I'm just me. I'm very insignificant when it comes to life and you know, the whole world, and even you know, the state of Washington. I'm just one tiny person out of millions and millions of people, and so that a lot of times is very it's scary, but it feels like not empowering, but like the opposite of empowering. It makes me feel small and insignificant. But there are things, honestly, that we can do as Black people, little tiny things that will help Black people feel united. One of those things are, you know, and I try to do this, I really make a really hard effort to, if I walk past a Black person, to make eye contact, to smile, give a little, I notice you. That is, everybody can do that. Anybody can do that. Just acknowledge the Black person's existence. A little smile, a little nod to say that I acknowledge that you exist. Everybody can do that. And that makes us feel connected. That makes us feel like we're a part of something. And that's really easy. It's really simple. It's very positive. You know, anybody can do it. You don't need to worry about, well, what if they don't smile back, or what if they don't say hi back? Oh, well, move on, smile to the next person. Like, that's it. That's very easy. Usually you get that smile back, you get that acknowledgement, you get that connection. And if you don't, then oh well, then you just, like I said, you just move on into the next person, and you just keep doing that, and you make that part of your everyday life. Like, that's just what you do. For, you know, for me, it's what there's not that many Black people around, so when you see a Black person, you are very much like, hey, you exist and I exist, this is cool. And so doing that is so simple. So you can do something. So no one should be able to say, I can't do anything, because that is very small, but it's very significant. Because the biggest thing that white supremacists have as a weapon against us is our lack of unity, our separation of each other, our lack of camaraderie and brotherhood, and we don't have that. They made sure we didn't have that. So make no mistake about it, that was in their plan. That was part of their plan, and it still is today, to keep us divided. That's if you look at any war tactics, division is one of the first war tactics, getting people to be divided. Okay, because then you're doing their work for them. They don't really need to do that much work because you're doing it for them. So simply saying hi, making eye contact, that helps. So, and then since once we're noticing each other and we see each other, it'll be harder for you to feel disconnected if you see some, you know, cops or any white supremacists attacking a Black person. For me, I'm going to say something, always. I don't care what the situation is. If a white person is verbally or physically or any way disrespecting or attacking a Black person, that is so personal to me. That's personal. I don't care if it's a man. I'm going to say something. I've done it. I've always done it. I'm going to say something, because that is my brother. That is my sister, irregardless of whether I've ever seen that person in my life. Okay, and that's how we need to feel. Because if white people know that if I do something to this black person, I'm going to have to answer to all black people. That's what they need to feel like. That's not hard. It's not hard to say something. You see something, you say something. Okay? So if you see, a black person being harassed, you can say something. You can open your mouth and say, hey, I see what you're doing. I notice what you're doing. It's wrong. And that's it. That is your business. That's your business. And that's something that you should be doing. It's not hard. I'm not saying go out and look for fights. That's not even getting in a physical fight. Like, if you see something that's going on that's wrong, speaking up against it, or even saying, like the incident when me and my sister were at the mall, and these black children were being harassed. Just asking the kids, hey, are you guys okay? Do you guys need any help? That's not a hard thing to do. It's not. And it helps. It's a small thing. Anybody can do it. It's a solution. We can do that. And it's not some giant thing that's going to fix everything, but it's one step closer to unity. It really is. It's one step closer, and it's not something that's hard to do. So another thing is, before you start spreading these white supremacist agendas, because when I hear people say, oh, did that black guy shot up 13 people, and there's no evidence of that. There's no backing. Like, the evidence does not support what these white supremacist media is pushing out. It's not supported at all. There isn't. And instead of, sharing that, go do your research first. See if it makes sense to you. See if they're saying, someone shot 13 people within 90 seconds. If you've never shot a gun before, that's not very realistic unless he has a certain gun. So look for that evidence and say, oh, is that a gun? Are they saying that he had a gun that can actually do this? And is it rational to believe that an average person has that great of aim? Like, does this make sense? Me, I've shot in a gun numerous times. I've shot plenty of different guns, so I have a lot of experience. So I know this doesn't make sense. Like, okay, I've shot guns. You don't have that great of aim, especially if you're moving. And they don't shoot that fast. A lot of them, even like a semi-automatic, to shoot 13 times in 90 seconds, you're pulling it really fast. So to pull it really fast and aim, that is some great skills. Most black people do not have those skills. And this isn't a person that they're saying was in the military or in any profession that he would have that training. So a lot of the stuff that is put out in the mainstream media is fake news, is propaganda, and it's bull. Okay, they have an agenda that they are trying to push. And you have to realize that. So this is another simple thing that you can do to help the black community, and you don't really have to do anything. Like, all you have to do is not push negative propaganda that's towards black people. You just don't share it. Don't go off talking about it. Don't spread that kind of negative gossip. Like, that's a simple thing that you could just not do. If you have questions about it, you can look it up. There's so much, we have so much information at our fingertips right now. And I say right now because clearly they're trying to control the media right now, and that's why they are demonetizing our videos. So right now they're in war against our freedom of speech. And that's another thing. We can say, well, I have First Amendment right to freedom of speech. What's going on? Why are you trying to censor everything that I say? Why are you demonetizing my stuff? Because they can. It doesn't matter if the law says something different. Okay? And they're targeting black people. They're targeting anti-white supremacist. But I mean, the only thing we can do is, you know, support each other through Patreon and donate to the YouTubers that you get your information from and that you think are really benefiting your community. That's another way you can help out your community. It's definitely, even if it's $1 a month, just donating $1 a month to a Patreon account and really support people like me who are really trying to get our message out there, because this is one tool that we have not had before, and so we really need to utilize it the best we can. We need to get as much out of this opportunity as possible, and you know, donating through Patreon account is something that you can do that really contributes to Black progress and Black unity. And that's another small thing that you can do that really doesn't take too much effort. Because I know, you know, it sucks when you're that one person and you feel like there's not much that you can do. And I'm telling you, you know, there are things you can do. So I'm just going to do like a wrap up and let you, and again, of the things that you can do that are really simple that can help unite the Black community. So one I talked about was acknowledging other Black people when you see them. Just a smile, a nod, eye contact, something to say, I see you, I acknowledge you, you know, hello brother, hello sister, whatever. You don't even have to say anything, just a nod usually will do. But it makes that person feel connected. It's a connection, and it seems really small, but it builds a gap, an extension from you to that person, and that helps in the division that white supremacy has. And still do purposely put that they work hard. That is a huge part of their agenda is keeping us divided. So then another thing I said was, if you see something, say something. If you see a Black person being discriminated against, being talked to disrespectfully, being degraded, being hit, being, you know, anything like that, say something, okay? It's not that hard. Hey, do you need some help? You know, what's going on here? Are we, you know, just so these white supremacist devils know that you know what they're doing and that you're there, and that Black person knows that you're not alone, even though, you know, because we've been ignoring each other. We've been ignoring things that's going on, and all in the name of I'm staying positive, I'm minding my business, I'm living my life. You know, we all want that. We all would like to just live our lives, but while we're just living our lives, destruction is still going on around us, and Black genocide is going on around us. And if we don't start opening our eyes and uniting, regardless of our little tiny, you know, our problems that we have in our own community, that is something that we need to set aside right now. Because when you're dying, when people are attacking you, it's like having cancer. You know, if you have cancer, your little petty differences aren't going to matter. You're going to put all that on hold so that you can deal with the cancer, and then you'll address, you know, maybe your hair is falling out or your nails are splitting or something like that. You know, you'll get to those after, and that's what's going on right now. These murders, these attacks, this genocide is going on around us, and we have to put everything else aside, whether we have, you know, issues with Black men or Black men having issues with Black women and hair and nails and all the, you know, skin tones, all the little minute issues that really are senseless and pointless and don't matter. Even if you feel like they matter, they might matter a lot to you, but I just imagine that they don't matter more to you than your life. And right now, that's what we need to focus on. We need to focus on saving our lives, and uniting is the only way we're going to do that. We need to unite. We need to wake up. We need Black men to feel empowered so that they can stand up and fight white supremacy. White supremacy has built a system to beat down Black men, to beat them down economically, socially, psychologically, in every way, to beat them down. And so that is really, that's working. It's working for white supremacy. So we really need, that's another thing we have to try to do, is build each other up and be positive towards each other. And, you know, do whatever we want to stay positive. We want to be positive, because that's what we're, positive, peaceful people, and like that's who we are genetically, and that's just who we are. And so we want so badly to just say, I just want to live my life. I don't want to deal with any of this. I don't want the negativity. That's what we want. We all want that, but we have to fight for that. Because if you look at history, if we choose not to fight for that, we're not going to get it. It doesn't matter if I say I'm just going to sit here in my apartment and I'm never going to leave my apartment, and I'm not going to make videos, and I'm not going to watch news. I'm just going to sit here. Okay, once they decide to invoke martial law or put Black people in concentration camps, it's not going to matter if I just sit here, because they're just going to come knock on the door and take me and put me in the concentration camp right along with the other Black people. So if that's your option, is to just sit here and wait for them to come get you, that's not my option. I'd rather them not come get me. I'd rather fight, and I would rather die fighting white supremacy than allow them to take my life by me just sitting there saying, okay, go ahead and do whatever you want to. Like, that's not cool. It's not something that, you know, we need to be a part of. We really need to decide to, you know, to put our differences, whether they're religious differences, whether they're, you know, Black men having, you know, issues with Black women or vice versa. I don't, you know, there's a lot of stuff that's going on, but none of those things are more important than protecting our lives. And in order to do that, unity needs to happen. So if you can just do your part, everyone needs to do their part, you know. And yeah, I guess that's it for now. I do want to thank everyone for watching this video. Everyone that's, you know, donated through the Patreon account. That is helping everyone that you subscribe to, that is fighting against white supremacy. When you're donating through the Patreon account, you're helping us stay on. You're helping us spread our message and not be silenced and not be bullied by these big corporations that want to silence us. They don't want us to be able to use these outlets to talk about them, because right now, like, I'm talking to people in Florida, and I'm in the UK, and everywhere. We get to talk to everyone and tell them, you know, they're killing us. This is our problem. You know, everybody worldwide gets to see this, and they don't like that, because these white supremacist terrorists do not want us to have this. And so we have to support each other so that we can keep this going. Anyway, so thank you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, I will see you guys on the next video. Thanks.